Hello, today is Tuesday the 22nd of January 19, and today I just wanted to do a video to demonstrate the change that you can bring about in the quality of your land by doing simple things, nothing too expensive, nothing too hard. This is the field that I have completed the previous video on, where the shores have been dug and they're running away nicely. A lot of water coming out of them, and we spoke before about how over time the rush has got out of control here. You can see there's the water there and it's flowing, and this happened over a decade. It took basically since 2010. That was the last time I took hay off this field, so you can see it's pretty bad. Now I want to take a few steps into the next field, and I want to show you just what can be done with a little bit of time and a little bit of management to bring this in all its horror and rushiness into something that is a lot more presentable. And here it is here. Now, you might find it hard to believe, but in 2016 this field looked like that field. And you might ask, what did I do to bring this back into a more productive, cleaner field? Well, quite simply, the first thing I done is I ran some geotextile piping shores in the field, because it was very, very wet. This side here was quite okay, but once you got in line with that pole across, it was an absolute swamp. I seen me in summer topping one year with the tractor, getting almost stuck in it. That's how wet it was. So what did I do? Well, quite simply, the first thing I done was, after I had the shoring done, I came in one harvest, I think it was about October time, it was dry, and I got the rotary and I cut the rushes to the clay. I absolutely cut them, nearly skint the ground where the rushes were. And over the winter those rushes rotted down. That brought me into 2018. Now 2018, spring 2018, there was still a fair percentage of rushes on this field, possibly in the region of 40%. So we got rid of 60% by the hard cut the previous October. But the field ran away with me in the sense that I couldn't get the cattle into it quick enough, so it had turned into a meadow actually, and I didn't want to spoil it, having the cattle come in and tramp most of the grass. So I took a cut of hay off it, the good weather in June 2018, about nearly 3 round bales of it, cut it tight, got it up, cleaned it off, and then I came along and I put 5, and 5 is quite small, but 5 transport boxes of cow dung where I was cleaning up around the shed. I just scattered them around the field. Now the rushes did return, a percentage of them. So when the grass had come back to about the 3-inch, 4-inch stage, I let the cattle into it, and that was mid June to mid July, and the cattle let the grass down. The weather, as you remember, last year was very good and the ground was quite dry. So when they had eaten it, I came in here with a topper and I topped it as tight as I could in both directions, up and down. And I brought that stuff in actually and used it for bedding because it was very fine. And I put one bag of 10-10-20 on the field. Now this is almost 1.9 acres. So one bag of 10-10-20 isn't exactly going to make it flush green with grass, but it's just to help encourage on a new growth. And when that grass came on, I let the cattle into it and the cattle ate it, and they probably ate some of the fresh rush as well, because when the rush is growing with grass with a little bit of fertilizer, the cattle, and particularly young calves and weanlings, are inclined to nip the top of it. But this in January 2019 is the result of that work. Now you will see, particularly over here, there are rushes, but instead of big thick bunches of rushes the height of a 4-year-old child, we have actually very small rushes that are distributed not in big thick bunches, but in more individual bunch here, there and throughout. And it's a lot easier to manage them when they get to that stage. So now my plan this year is, because this has been shored, I'm going to mould it, because I do know that there's daub about 1.5 foot down underneath this. So I'll run a few moulds across the shores, and then I'm going to put about 75 kilos of 10-10-20 on the field, and I'm going to let the cattle eat the grass this year. I'm not going to take any meadow off it. And when the cattle have it eaten, whatever rushes remain, ground conditions allowing, I'll come in with the rotary and I'll cut it to the clay again. And that is the only way. It's continuous cut and graze and cut and graze, and some fertilizer then to make the grass compete better with the rush. So that's the plan, but it's just to demonstrate that what you have seen in the previous field was once in this field, and you can see it now for yourself. The only thing I've left to do really in this field is underneath the trees here. I have a few branches to cut. They're overhanging at about 10 feet, 9 feet, 8, 9, 10 feet. Just nip them. So I'm going to go in then with the digger, and we're going to ravel that area in there, because it's very black, light, lovely soil. It's probably leaf mould over the last 100 years, cattle manure, stuff like that. And once that's done, I'm going to reseed it, because that is so dry in there. You couldn't wet it actually, between the roots of the trees and the type of soil that's in it. So I'm going to ravel that in and just throw some hayseed on it, so give it a little extra bit of ground there for feeding. But that's it, just to demonstrate what can be done.